Hello, I'm Ian Shepherd of WSP, and this video is to introduce the Projectview web mapping application that WSP have developed for Midlands Connect. Here's my details if you want to get in touch with any further questions or inquiries. Projectview runs in an ordinary web browser. There's no software downloads or plugins needed, but it is access controlled, so you do need a user account before you can get access to it. So when I log in here, this is the main start view, the map view, and I can set my background, and I've got access to a lot of information via the map. So we've got some ordinary sort of standard map layers here, road and rail networks, and anywhere in Projectview you can click on an area of the map and it will select objects and show you attribute information about that. You can see at the top here, if my click hits several things, then I can easily scroll between them and check out what it is that I've hit. Many layers in Projectview are time aware. So here we've got census data, so I've got access to a whole load of different variables here, and I've got a time slider. So let's have a look at tempo. If I pick any of the variables and then move the time slider along, the map display will change to reflect that chosen quantity through time. So here in tempo we've got forecasts in 5-year time steps all the way up to 2046. If I click on something in a time aware layer, I get this little time series chart showing me all the values through time, as well as the normal attribute display. You probably noticed that when I clicked on a time aware layer and there was one already shown, one cancelled the other. That's because each of them has to grab these user interface controls. Like in census, there are only 2 date time points, so the slider reflects that, and it's showing the appropriate variables for this. In employment forecasts and value-added forecasts, there's every year historically and up to 2041. So if I show the time series data there, you can see it's a very long and detailed set of forecasts. So using this time-aware mechanism, Projectview manages to give easy, clean access to literally hundreds and hundreds of different mappable views, which simply wouldn't be practical without this facility. The other thing we've got on the map view is commuting patterns. So if I click on a local authority here, by default I'm being shown the top 10 largest commuting flows. The circle in the middle is the intrazonal flows, so those trips that both start and end in that zone, and then you can see the arrows coming in. So I can use the slider to change how many flows. So here's the top 1, which is, as you'd expect, the intrazonal, and I can go to as many arrows as I want, depending on how detailed or uncluttered I want the map to be. We also have this information available by mode. So let's have a look at train commuters here. The Projectview will dynamically decide what the range boundaries here, so the thicker arrows come in at a lower level for the smaller flows compared to cars or everything. And So surprisingly enough, it looks like there are some Bradley Wigginses out there cycling long distances to get to Leicester. Okay, that view is available at 2 different levels of detail, local authority and also MSOA. So we can do the same analysis with an MSOA and get those top flows. But one thing to be aware of at the MSOA level is that there may not be any trips for a certain mode. So the Charnwood 015 MSOA, no one's travelling by taxi there, so no arrows appear on the map. Right. Projectview comes with a comprehensive user interface for viewing network-based results. So these results are coming from the Comet transport model. So I've got 4 different years, 3 different time periods available to me, and a whole load of variables that the model produces. Let's look at commuting flows. See that for every road that's in the model network, we can view the results for it. So here's the car commuting flows in the morning peak in the base year 2015. And also what I can do here is I can compare 2 different scenarios. So I'm now comparing the 2041 situation with the base year, and so instead of being the absolute flow values, we're now looking at the differences. So a few roads the flow has gone down, but as you'd expect over time in the do minimum, most roads have gone up. And we've got measures of congestion in here, like the congested speed and total delay. And see that the delay situation is not getting too much worse. Let's have a look at that in absolute terms. So you can see where the worst delays are in the base year by looking for those red figures. So again, that gives powerful access to literally hundreds of different mappable variables in a sort of clean and fairly easy to navigate way. The other sort of main plank that's in this Midlands Connect application is a view of Midlands Connect's technical program. So this is user-created hierarchy of work streams, projects and sections. So if we look in here, under road improvement schemes, 2 projects have been entered, and each of those has a single working section. So a section is something that you can see on the map, or a distinct piece of work. So a project could make up many distinct sections, maybe if it's phased, or if there's if we're doing upgrades to a road not along its entire length, there'd be different sections with gaps in between. A project can have as many sections as you like. So this one, which is representing the strategic housing, has got dozens in it. This actually also shows the limitation of this way of representing data, because this is user created and Projectview doesn't have the opportunity to style this data in a particular way. Whether this is 10 houses or 10,000 houses, it appears the same in this view. So this is actually a view that we have on the main map. So as you can see, when that's there as a fixed layer, we can style it to show the significance of the size or scale of that data. And here we've got employment as well, so we can have a look at the pattern of how well housing is going to match up to increase in employment, so we can make a good intuitive look there at likely travel demand from future development. Anyway, back to technical program. The technical program has a map view, and as usual that's clickable and interrogatable. But all these elements of the technical program can have documents associated with them, and that's available on this tab here. So you can see that there's a document been uploaded associated with that element in the technical program. We also have a specific document view. So if I look for all the documents that have got the word test in them, that same document we were looking at before is available over here, and I can click on that and view it in my browser. The third view of the technical program is a Gantt chart view, so I can see the likely progress, start and finish dates of all the elements that make up a work stream, and I can see that in any level of detail that I wish. Okay, so a lot of that data is user configurable. So if a user account has administrator privileges, then that user can firstly manage user accounts, create new users, give levels of privilege to certain users. They can associate documents with those elements in the technical program, add or remove attachments, and also admin level users can create and populate transport model scenarios. So all that transport model data we were looking at, and all the map geometry that's associated with those technical program elements, all that was uploaded through this user interface. Okay, that is Projectview. So once again, thanks for listening, and if you've got any other queries or questions, here's my details again, so you can get in touch. Goodbye.